Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the wait. Welcome back to NYC Crime Spot. It's been a minute since I've been on here with one of these lives, and it's been a minute since this gentleman sitting right next to me on the screen has been on the show, Mr. Pete the Pick Lafroscia. Is it Lafroscia or Lafroscia? What is it? You like Lafroscia?
Lafroscia, Lafroscia.
It's not Lafroscia? All right. I'm just messing
Nah,
with you. Pete,
I'm
what's
gonna tell
going
you what
on,
that means.
man?
I'm gonna tell you what that means in Italian. So I asked my grandfather what that means, right?
Yeah.
So he says it's either a scrambled egg omelet. I said, what? He says it means either that or you're a ferocious guy. So you choose what you want it to be, because it can be either one. I said, okay, Gramps.
That's
Anyhow,
fun. That's
what are
funny.
you saying?
How are you, man? How
All
you
right, I'm all
doing?
right. Talking to you guys. Miss you guys, but been running around like a chicken without a head. So many
Good.
things going on. And I go to
Staying
work, so it
busy.
really makes it tough.
Staying busy, right?
Yes, very busy.
Good stuff. Good. All right. So we're going to talk about a few things today. Obviously, if you don't know who this guy is, this is Pete the Pick Lafroscia. Pete, it's been a while since you've been on. Some people know you. I don't know. Somebody might stumble on and be like, "Who the hell is this guy? Who are you, Pete?"
Actually, in my mind, nobody. But
Well, okay.
what to the government? I was with the Mayo crew, the Gambinos, and there's a very, very not dull life. There's nothing dull about it. You
Yeah.
know, I should have been a ballerina. I was always walking on my toes. What else can I tell you about me? I'm at 76 years of age, retired from all that. I got out with a blessing. I had no problems going about my own way. I did my time, altogether 22, kept my mouth shut like men do. And here I am talking to you, trying to enlighten some children or some young people not to get involved, because it's not what you see on TV.
Right.
It's not, none of that. Maybe one time, maybe about 60 years ago, it was a
Yeah.
whole different ballgame. And now, listen, when you have people that you're supposed to look up to, that you're underneath and you see them rolling over, what does that tell you? It's, what I mean? They'll sacrifice everybody below them just not to go to jail. Now, I'm not saying about all of them, but you think about that. How can it's like working in construction, and the boss tells you to do something, and he's supposed to have to do that first. He's supposed to be responsible for that, whatever he's telling you or teaching you. So when the teacher doesn't do what he's teaching you, I mean, what does that tell you? It's not what it was. It's not so much about honor and respect. It's about integrity, as far as I'm concerned. You know,
Yeah. Well,
well,
you hear me, Pete?
yes, very well.
Okay. I think you're on a delay or something, or you froze up for a second. But let me ask you, because you brought up something interesting. I'm going to pull up a question that was asked up at the top in a second, Pete. But
Okay.
I want to ask you something, because obviously, as you said, running with the Demeo crew, right? Oh, everybody knows that, right? I mean, you had more than enough chances to, I don't know, maybe give up some really serious stuff, but you
Uh,
did not. What is that? What is the mindset behind that? Not wanting to.
Mindset. Listen, you join the army, right? You're in the war, right? Okay. You with certain guys, right? Okay. Now, they're your comrades. You know what I mean? They're like your brothers. And suppose you get captured. The judge heard this story. Suppose you get captured, right? And your guys are like 2 clicks away, right? And now they're torturing you. They're doing all this crazy stuff to make you talk. But you're a man, you don't tell. You know what I mean? I feel it's the same as when you join another group of people. You got to have the same morals, the same stamina, same beliefs. You know what I mean? Like, and besides, now, today, you're going to go to prison. Maybe air conditioned, maybe not. You're going to get 3 meals a day. You're going to have a gym. You're going to have, I mean, you think about that. Compare that to the two of them. Okay. And a man's a man. If you know what you're getting into before you do, then fine. But if you get into it, like certain people that's supposed to be old school, and they go beyond the realm of you're supposed to be the guy. Everybody's looking up to you now because you don't want to go to jail because you got a family. In other words, everybody goes to jail because of you. That's crazy. I told
Yeah,
you
well,
that's
you were pretty close to doing life at one point,
double life.
and but you were willing. But you were willing. You were willing. That was fine with you.
Well, a man's a man, but you know what I mean. You got to.
No, I understand. I want to understand. Like, I'm not judging, of course. We're buddies, but
Listen, when they sent us out for the recess for lunch, And I went I was surprised on a double homicide. They let me go downstairs and have lunch with my mother and my girl. I took one bite of the food. I looked at my mother, looked like I got up. I kissed my mother, I kissed my girl, I started walking away. My mother says, "What are you doing?" I says, "If you think I'm going up there for 50 years, you're crazy."
Right.
She swore to God on everything she loved that I'm going to be found innocent. I said, "Mom, the same bingo, taking a hell of a chance here."
Yeah.
And she was right. But, I faced, and they know in their hearts and fucking, no, excuse me, the government that I had nothing to do with it, but they were just going to press me, trying to make me rule, you know what I mean? And that's their only method to take you away from your family, take you away from everything you got to have in life by doing that. Listen, cooperate, you'll be all right. Be all right with what? Who was she first thing in the morning? Me. Who was she the last person at night? Me. Can I live with that? No, I cannot. Thinking that I put some of the people that I call my friends, and I don't call many that. There'll be very, very, very few that I call friends. That I put them somewhere, take them away from their families? No, I wouldn't. I'd probably commit suicide. Well, maybe not. Maybe I go shoot a policeman or something. Maybe do this. Who knows? I just know I couldn't live with myself. It's
No, I understand. Yeah, because it's a decision that a lot of guys that lived your life had to face at some point and at many different times, some of them. So I just wonder, what goes into it, knowing you, just like your psychology behind it. I want to say hi to a couple of people, Pete, and then I'm going to ask another question in relation to that.
no problem.
Not to put you on the spot, but shout out to Roro G. Roro G sent us a cash app before the show, Pete. So I'm going to send you half of that. If you guys want a cash app, it's a $ NYC Crime Spot on Cash App, or Roro, I think, has the link. All
Right,
these
well,
shows, we're going to give
if
Pete some cash. If you want to send some cash, we're going to, like I said, Ranger Fan 11, Oscar Madison, Roy Munson. Matt, what's going on? Roy Munson. I got a question. Sister, Barzalette, Bruno 67. I'm going to get back down to your comments. Peter had and we got Pete D over here too, your buddy over there, Pete D.
Hey, Petey.
So here's a question, Pete. Piggyback. What's up, proletarian? And piggybacking off of that, Roy Munson, who's in the chat here, he says, "What do you think Testa and Center would think about him doing these great," he calls them great interviews, or having these conversations with me in a public forum?" I guess what he's trying to say.
Is he referring to me doing this? How would he feel about it?
You doing it, yes.
Well, truthfully, in my heart, you're never supposed to really do something like this. But for what I'm doing it for the reason I'm doing it for, and I'm never gonna hurt nobody that listen, they're two people that call my friends, okay? So they know I'm not being stupid here and I'm telling the truth, whatever I'm telling about. And I believe they can understand why I'm doing it. I ain't driving no Cadillac or nothing, boys. I'm driving a pickup truck.
No, this is true. Yeah, no, this is true. But obviously, like you said, I mean, and you've said to me before, obviously you never took an oath, but I guess if you lived by some sort of code during your life, Pete, I guess
Oh yeah.
the answer is you're not really supposed to be doing this. But I think that, me personally, Pete, I think that at your age and the life that you lived, I think you've earned every right to speak about your life and personally whatever you want. And I know that you're smart in a street sense, that you would never say anything to put anybody in trouble.
No. Never. And I hope they realize that some people I do talk about deserve everything they get. Like, what's his name now? Sammy. I want to talk about him someday.
Who's that? Sammy?
Sammy the Bull, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Francis. Them guys. Now they get on this thing and I just don't understand it, But I'd like to bring up some specifics about them at another time, and I would really love to talk to them face to face like this.
Oh, you would? You would actually do that?
Oh, I'm dying to ask him. I met these guys so many times and looked up to these guys so many times, and then all of a sudden you just drop you like an egg. Boom! You destroyed everything I believed in. As far as what tough guys are, what old school is.
Yeah.
So you weren't on the lower chain. You were high up on the food chain. And yet you did what you did. And I would love to talk to him. Like I swear, I just want to ask a few questions. That's it. and see what they answer, man. I mean, they'll probably tell me to go fuck myself or whatever, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm at this age. What are they gonna do? Anything they want to do, let them come. I'm gonna tell you. But it's sad, sad.
Yeah, well, he's not very well liked. Just so you know. What's up, Ranger fan? What's up, David Price, Froggy? Yeah, he's not a very well liked individual. He's kind of turned himself into a pariah. You know, he comes on here, he argues with other content creators, and he does all types of weird shit.
Yeah, I just want to see what his mind thought was at the time. Why? And I want to tell him what I thought and why, and see how he answers that. Because I've been thinking that since the day he did it. You know what I mean? Because I like John. I like John a lot. You know what I mean? He was a little crazy, flamboyant, but he was still a good man. You know what I mean? And
yeah, you know, he probably, you know, Sammy would talk to you, but you'd have to pay him. You'd have to.
pay my
Just so you know, you'd have to pay him.
Pay him. I like to pay him. I pay my respects anyhow.
Pay him respects. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. So we were also talking about, you know, I'm going to star some of your guys' questions, so get the questions in. We were talking about, you know, when you got indicted in 1984, you were getting indicted at a time when you were like in MCC and you were in all these high profile prisoner areas at the same time that there was a lot of other things going on and about to go on, right? I mean, you had the Pizza Connection stuff, you had the commission trials were going to start at some point. They were going on simultaneously to what was going on with you and this U.S. versus Paul Castellano thing, right? Basically.
Yes.
Yeah, because that trial lasted a little while. So you must have seen a lot of people.
Oh my God. I felt like I was walking down the red carpet, the who's. I met them.
Yeah.
Yeah. People that you think that you know who they are. It's like walking into a club and all of a sudden there's Sylvester Stallone, you know.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was of a different caliber, but yes. For where I was, it was like, holy shit, this is really real, huh? These guys really are. Anyhow, yes, it was like the who's that I met. I swear to you, I was in awe. I was still a young guy, so you know, pretty much a lot of you know, it's just wow. You know, people that got books written about them, people that like way up on the screen. They were the guys. They made the last decision about everything you're gonna do.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah,
that
there was a lot of people coming in and out, obviously. I mean, if the guys, I guess, I mean, some guys got bail or whatever if they could afford whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But there was definitely guys that spent a decent chunk of time locked up over there in MCC.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, any incidents, anything particular?
Well, let's see. You know, the Pizza Connection guys. Yeah. I met the father and son. I think the last name was Bellamente. Really nice guys. You know,
Bellamente. Yeah, Gaetano Bellamente. Was he in MCC? I don't know. Somebody can answer that.
You know, and his son, I got to talk to his son about how their business went, how they shipped everything in their espresso machines, and they took the money. Believe it or not, it's a shame because everything they built up, they lost. They took all the money they were making and buying property all over the country. I mean, they were in every state there was. Yeah. Everybody wanted an espresso, I guess. But yeah, you know, you talk to the bad guys, you know, and he was telling me about how his uncle was going to testify. I think it was his father's brother, something like that. And when he got there, you know, he seen his brother in the audience up on the defendant's box, and he changed his. Almost like watching a movie, you know, how they would program the movie like, well, he's going to testify, and all of a sudden he sees somebody that he loves and really cared about and changed his whole story. He must have made a mistake, he said. You know, so and these guys were old. This guy was like 80-something years old.
Wait, who was testifying? Because you broke up there.
Well, somebody in the case, right? For instance, let's just say Paul Castellano, for instance, right? He was going to testify against, and all of a sudden it was one of his sons that was sitting in the defendant's table.
Okay.
He changed his whole story, you know what I mean? Oh, I must have made a mistake, you know.
Yeah, he had to face it.
That's the essence of it, yes.
Right. He had to face it. Yeah.
Uh, I think I met Ralphie Scopo. He was
Ralph
a nice guy.
Scopo, yeah.
Nice guy. I met Anthony Colombo. Nice guy. As a matter of fact, we traveled on a bus together to our favorite hotel. I think it was Lewisburg.
Lewisburg, yeah.
A 24-hour service. They didn't care.
Would they bring you? Would they bring you like there and back, like
Oh no, for that,
quickly, just to fuck with you?
no. They would bring you to Otisville. Otisville was the closest federal prison. They had
Okay.
a wing. They had a wing there just for people that were testifying rats. And I couldn't understand to this day. You got the five bosses. They got zillions of dollars, right? I'm saying all they got to do is get a couple of mercenaries, a couple of lawyers, right? Blow the whole fucking building up, man. Do out in the woods, They can hurt
Yeah.
nobody else.
Yeah.
That would have made a whole difference about who's going to testify. But that's my opinion. You know what I mean? And I guess
Yeah, they got to
really
keep. They got to keep them separate. I mean, they have to have. They have to have numerous wards if it's if there's a lot of informers because they can't talk to each other either if they're testifying about the same thing. So they have to have different whole sections.
Oh, it was like it was one big unit. One big. I'm sure they got.
Yeah.
It's like one
Or different areas.
Hey,
like
how's your cheese? My cheese is all right. You know what I mean?
you're fucking funny.
Well,
like
I mean,
different areas. Let's say like Vito and Freddie, they couldn't be together. They had to be separated somewhere, or whatever. Stuff like that.
I'm sure, probably. But look at Vito.
Yeah,
now.
because they don't want them to collude. You got witnesses colluding together to make stories up.
Yeah,
You know how it is.
They list the government for bigger prizes. Like Vito, I want a barber chair.
Yeah.
I want my boyfriend from Texas in the cell. Oh, he got
Bruce
all that.
Springsteen, Dolby Audio, Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, he got anything he asked for. It's amazing.
Plastic surgery. He tried to get plastic surgery.
Oh yeah, he was gonna look like Tom Selleck. That guy, you'd have to melt him down and start a holding mold to start him looking like Tom Selleck. That's the jury cracked up. There's no way. You have to chisel about 200 pounds of fat off him just to get him started.
Just 200, probably more than
That's
that.
about it. Yeah.
Probably more than that. So I want to get to some more questions, people. You told me another interesting story. Now that we were talking about Vito Arena, for some reason we always have to talk about him when you come on. I don't know why. I think you have a crush on him, Pete. Maybe.
I do. I'd like to crush him again. Just I'd like to bring him to Industrial's junkyard and crush him one more time.
Yeah. So you were telling me. Now, he did go AWOL from the crew, I think around 81, late 80, early 81 or something, right? He disappeared. He started, running around with Joey Lee, knocking off dentists and real estate agencies.
Yeah.
But your buddy Roy over there was looking for him. You told me a story about you guys were all hanging out and in come Kenny McCabe.
We were at Michael's seafood. I think it was a steakhouse. I'm not sure what seafood. Well, maybe both. Anyhow, we're all sitting there. Having something to eat, all of a sudden the door's supposed to.
Now you say you're all. Who are you sitting there with?
The guy said the Magnificent Seven.
Okay. So you're talking about the regular cast of crew.
That's right. The ones that Roy ate with every week. Anyhow.
Okay.
All comes this bam. People eat dinner and shit. They look up and they come in full everything dressed, right? And walk over to the table. And they look down at Roy and Roy says, "You got reservations?" Yeah, I got reservations. Where's Vito? Roy says, "If you find out, let me know. I could really like to talk to before you do." And
yeah,
it was just crazy, man, the way they came in there. Like maybe they thought he was sitting there. Why would he sitting there? He'd be on the table. He'd be cutting up the sausage. It wasn't the sausage. It'd be him, the motherfucker.
So Kenny McCabe, Detective McCabe. Talk about Detective McCabe because he's an interesting guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. First of all, he's about 6 foot and change, right? And this guy was a real cop's cop. I got nothing bad to say about him like that. He believed in what he believed, and he tried his hardest to prove what he did. This guy would work. He'd get off work at 3 o'clock. He'd still be working at 1, 2 in the morning on surveillances on his own. I'd be coming home. I lived on the street, right? And the 3 of us lived on that one block. It was Joey, me, and Henry. Lived right across the street from each other. Like he'd be down the next block. He'd be in the middle of winter. And it's freezing. I'm telling you, out by freezing. He'd be driving that Volkswagen. That's all he drove was his Volkswagen. He was so fucking big. He didn't open the sun to put his head out. So I'd be driving by and I'd see him. I'd back up. "What are you doing, Kenny?" He says, "I'm babysitting." He says, "Really?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "What are you going to prove by us sitting down here? What are you going to say? That we stay home at night with our families? We're not standing." He says, "Wait for one of you to slip out." I says, "Yeah, okay. And we all know you're down there. That's just what we're going to do." But he was a true cop's cop, man. I mean, he worked so hard overtime. he used to come by the club, and Freddie would go fuck with him big time. You know, he'd get him so crazy. You know what I mean? When he got out of the Volkswagen, forget about it, the car just came off the ground about 3 inches, and Roy would go out there and tell him, "Listen, don't listen to him. He's nuts, you know, and shit." And you know, basically, but anyhow, he did so much work that for his well, he had a thing about it. His father, you know, was a bag man, and he tried to undo what his father did. You know what I'm saying, by being extra. But he always would have been a good cop, whether his grandfather was or not, because because he did so hard work and all that stuff, he got the honor of putting the handcuffs on Paul Castellano.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think there's a photo of it. Pretty sure there might be a photo of it.
So here I am, Kenny McCabe. Right? Now I don't know. We all live in the same neighborhood. I didn't know that. He lived pretty close to where I did, and my sons used to go to his house and hang out with his son. You know, and they'd hang out, and I never knew this. You know, never knew. All of a sudden, while I'm away, right, I got a letter from McCabe. I'm saying, what the hell? It was his son. You know, writing to me about his father, asking me, I need to talk to you about my dad. What kind of man was he?
I heard of him doing that. Yeah. So you got one of those letters too, huh?
Yeah. And I said to him, I said, listen, your father, no matter what, he was a real policeman. He really believed in what he was doing. His heart was in it. I got nothing against your father. He was the type of cop who did his homework. You know what I mean? Beat the pound to try to get what he had to get. He wasn't the type of guy who listened to snitches. You know what I mean? He wanted to know factually for himself. Your father was a cop's cop, and that's all I can tell you about him. Me, personally, I had nothing against him. I respected him. You know, and that's all I can say about him. I told his son, and if there's anything else I can help you with, please let me know. I just found out. Yeah, I just found out that you were close with my sons, and I'm still devastated by that they used to be at your house all the time, hanging out, playing and whatnot. So if there's anything else I can help you with, please let me know. And
yeah. So Kenny McCabe, you guys are in the steakhouse. Kenny McCabe come busting in, looking for Vito Arena, because Vito was already leaking information.
Yeah.
And then I guess he got tired of it, and then he just started robbing fucking dentist office and real estate open houses with his boyfriend.
My heart. Good.
So, but he came in and approached Roy because apparently they've had numerous conversations on the street over the years, Kenny and Roy. And Roy said, "Do you have reservations?" That's what he said to him.
Yeah. He's a funny guy.
It's funny. No, it's funny. And, people like that, you know, that real interaction. And people like to hear that stuff.
You know, like as far as Vito goes, before he even believed anything, doing anything, he was calling in, giving a fake name, telling stories. You know, so we're writing this all down, probably. You know, whether it's real, whether it's not real. You know what I mean? I'm sure that the FBI and all the guys always have to take these notes, you know, from informants or people that are going to become informants, from people that are calling in. Never know. And so when it came time, he told me, he said, listen, you don't know me as this person, but you know me as that person that called in. He says, and I can prove everything I told you. And I can't tell you how many places they went to looking for bodies. They didn't find it, you know, on the gas station, none of it.
Yeah, the gas station. Yeah.
The only one they ever found was the one out in Santa Mauritius in the water there in the pier.
That's right. Yeah.
And that wasn't hard to find because the Vito Freddy did the work in his garage, put this poor guy in a barrel, filled it with cement, took it out to his crazy brother Freddy's, and the only thing they could think of was back it up through the pier real fast and open the doors and let it shoot out. That's what it did. So when I went there, it was still there, you know. When they chiseled the cement away, they found the guy's driver's license, everything preserved, you know what I mean? And that's when I started believing him. To this day, I don't understand. He could have been a very wealthy man if he would just shut his mouth. That's besides the point.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. They like dug up a fucking Exxon in Brooklyn looking for a body, didn't they? 2 bodies.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
2 places they went to, you know, but I'm sure it costs them a lot of money to do that shit.
Yeah, well, they're playing with our money mostly, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't hurt when it's not coming out of your pocket. Anyhow.
Yeah. Somebody asked. All right, let me see. So there is a lot of questions. Somebody asked, would Roy give Pete a list of cars he wanted stolen, or was it up to Pete to pick and choose?
When Roy was involved, it wasn't certain cars. It was all General Motors, big cars. It had to be, you know.
Yeah.
Without leather seats, it had that material because, as you know, the cow was shaking over there and
right.
You know, so there was no back in the day, for junkyards, yeah, that was a different story. But for Royers, what his deal was, no, there was no pick and choose. Any General Motors car, so made life a lot easier for us.
Right, and those are pretty, I guess, pretty easy to steal.
Yeah,
Huh?
forget about it.
Yeah. So
And
this is actually we could show you. I don't got to show you, Pete. Well, I will show you, but
we got,
what do we got here? So look at this. This is 445 Empire Boulevard. Does that look familiar to you?
oh yeah, I used to work there.
You used to work there, yeah. So that they had that right next to the precinct, right? Was at the 7
Wow.
7-1, 7-1, 7-2,
7-1, 7, yeah. Yeah, it was
7-1.
7-1 and 7-2. I remember that. And I
Right.
said, this is crazy. They never knew that the dealership had shut down. They thought it was still working. I believe
Yeah,
there's a
where it says
Buick.
Buggy. That's where you guys had the cars at one point. That was
Right.
the Empire Boulevard operation.
Correct.
Right.
That's
Still
This would
there,
be
man.
the-
That same building is still there. That's why we got to get you to New York so we could do these walk-in talks.
hey, I hate to say this, but when the cops, when we were driving out, the car loaders going down to the pier, the cops used to stop all the traffic so we could get through, load up and back in. I'm sure they felt fucking crazy when it came down to that. How they helped the Bob guys do their job.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's see. Let me see if I have any more questions here. So let's see. What's up, Manny? How are you, man? Hey, that brings to mind a good question. Being that, so my friend Manny Grossman, that's here. You ever watch Netflix, Pete?
sometimes not much.
They did a new David Berkowitz documentary, Son of Sam.
Oh, you kidding me?
Yeah, my friend's in it. The one that's in the chat. He's in Netflix documentary. Because
Really?
he knows all about the case. So I got to
I'll have
ask
to watch
you. You were running around at that time.
Oh my God.
You were having fun in 76 and 77, doing very productive things, Pete.
Right.
What was your thoughts about this crazy guy you heard? What were you and the crew thinking about? Were you thinking, I got to find this fucking guy? Like, what was going on?
Well, we really didn't look for him. You know what I mean? We figured eventually he'd get caught, but if he came across our way, believe me, they would have found him in front of the police station in a rug or something. As a matter of fact, it was me and my friend, and we robbed a car, right? And we about maybe a block away from where he actually got caught from, where got tickets on, right? And we heard the gunshots. We carried. I said, come on, let's go see what that is. My friend says, no, let's just take the car, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be bothered with nothing over there. Gunshots, there'd be a lot of police. That was him, though. He shot that girl and Moskowitz.
Yeah. Oh, so you were in the area in Brooklyn at the
Right around the corner.
it wouldn't be far from where you were hanging out. Yeah.
That's somebody shooting somebody. I said, my friend said, well, what the fuck you kill? Let's get the car and go. He's right. And I'll tell you what, it would have been beautiful to roll up on him then.
So you guys didn't think, because now I'm going to bring up Michael Francis because you brought him up at the beginning of the show. But I heard him say something once. He goes, and listen, I think he talks himself up a little bit. He says he was trying to say the cops came to us, asking us, for help to find him, which I don't believe at all. But so you guys didn't have it in you, like it wouldn't be cool to drive around and maybe catch him?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't purposely drive around, but let me tell you, if anyone of them has seen him or he'd been around where he did something and you knew he was right there, I'm sure that they would have went and tried to make sure that he got himself turned in one way or another.
Yeah,
whether he was walking or rolling or just laying there, they would have got him turned in because, that was a sad, sick thing he did.
Yeah.
Not saying that we did was any better, but that was really sick for no reason like that. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Killing young people like that.
It's another level. Yeah, it's another
Well,
thing.
all you say about Michael Francis, the only thing I can ever relate to that was with Charlie Luciani. When they got to 50 years, and that's when the war was on. They worried about the docs, so they went to him.
Yeah,
that's how he got deported back to Italy. They went and watched the docs for him. That's right. How about that? Coming to him, Michael Francis, for that. And his father, that time, they never would have, they would have did it because they knew that he was a piece of shit. But I don't think they would have did it to help them. I mean, they weren't going to go out of their way. If it came their way, they would have took care of business. Let's put it that way. He had his own wanted poster in our minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody asked before, so I mean, some people might know the answer, but they said, "Did you ever steal cars with Harvey?"
Yeah, I stole a few. Yes, I did. Good old Christmas. Chris Demeo, sure. Oh, you talk about Harvey Rosenberg.
Chris
Split
Demeo.
personality. Yeah, I did a few with him. Yes.
Back
Well,
in your teens.
yeah, we did a lot of vans. We had a good thing going with vans. They were the easiest ones to. We used to go to junkyards, buy the ones that were, semi demolished, take the VIN numbers off, go up to what is it this time? School Hill, it was up in Massachusetts up there,
Okay.
and you just go walk into the motor vehicle with a bill of sale and stuff, and you wind up with a new title and everything. So yeah.
So you
vans
would
were
steal
great.
vans and bring them to Massachusetts?
No, we went to Massachusetts. We still take the numbers off them and jump them again and go to Massachusetts.
JDL.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Uh-oh. We're in the club.
And, we go up there, and it's going to go off again. We go up there, get them re-registered with a brand new title, have the taxi home with a plate now, then go home and find one that matched it because vans were a dime a dozen. Then we put it on, we'd have a brand new van. No, we ain't gonna drive up there with a stolen van. No, have it Tracy. Come back with all the stuff you needed, put it on the van, and then drive it. They sold like hotcakes. Everybody wanted a van.
Yeah. Hey, hey, you know what's funny, Pete? So was Pete ever at Roy's house that we filmed in Massapequa?
Some phone. JDL. Missed call.
Yes, I was there. I don't know if I was ever in the films. If I was, I didn't like being on film over there. That was like, pretty good. It's just like, I used to tell my friends, you all hang out at that one spot. So if they're gonna watch it, they still have to watch it. Split up. Don't do something. No, what about somebody else? Oh, yes, hold on. Hey, Steve,
I want to show you something.
power off, please.
Yeah, I think that's what's interfering with your mic there too. All that static from that
Might have
phone.
been. Better now?
So there's these pictures actually, Pete. So there's these pictures of Roy that have been around for a while, right?
Correct.
And a lot of his stuff got sold off after he passed away. Albert, his son, was selling a lot of pictures, selling a lot of his stuff. And on the certificates of authenticity that are notarized that Albert has signed, he says that you're the one that actually took the pictures of Roy in these photos.
Something you might be right. I was always
It's just taken by Peter on the thing that he had notarized when he was selling these stuff. And these are pictures that a lot of people have probably seen before. It says these pictures were taken by Peter Lafroscia, blah, blah, blah.
Something? He's right. If you go to weddings and everything that I attended and everything like that, very few pictures of me because I was the camera guy. I was a camera freak.
Yeah. So I'm going to show everybody which ones I'm talking about.
Oh my gracious. Show me too.
Let me see. Because somebody was selling some of them on eBay, and then he gave you credit for the photos. They're popular ones that a lot of people have seen before.
I loved cameras back then. I had Nike, Canon, had them all.
Yeah.
Beautiful cameras. I love photography. Should have been a photographer.
They're like at his house. I'm trying to find them. They're like photos that were taken, I believe, at his house. And you get credit. I don't know if I can find them. All right. So here's one of them. Let me share the screen. So there's this one, and there's another one from this set. So it's this one here, Pete. This one here. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's his mother. I call him the mother.
Yeah, so this is Albert said you took this photo, and there's another one taken in this whole set or whatever that you took. I wish I could find it, but yeah. So where was that? Was that out in Long Island, maybe?
That was in Long Island. Yeah,
that was in Massapequa, right?
He was very funny about who took his picture, but he knew that I loved that. And he just didn't say nothing either. I took it when he wasn't looking because he had that funny face on.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. No, that was cool to know because I've seen those photos before, and then to see that you took them, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not usually in a lot of photos, even with my family. So I'm always the one taking them.
Yeah. Here's a good question. I know that you said he was a bad person who at one point advocated for you to be killed, but do you have any good memories of Harvey Rosenberg? If you do, what are they?
When the girl beat the shit out of him.
That's a good.
It's a good memory, trust me. He thought he was a tough guy, and she beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop us, man. What other good memory? Nah, and, you know. I
No,
used to
but
go to
for
his
real
house.
though, do you
No,
have
for real.
any? Do you
Yeah.
have anything?
Yeah, I used to go to his house, you know, when he was living with his mom and dad and stuff. They were very nice people, and his brother, beautiful people. You know, I got invited to, I'm not sure what they call it, when they had the tent outside on the terrace as some kind of holiday. Maybe it's like their Passover.
Oh,
I
the
was very
sukkah. What
correct.
they build the house? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, as far as hanging out with him, I told you every time I hang out with him, he did something crazy, like, you know, stupid.
So his parents were pretty observant when it came down
You know,
to
like I
the
told,
Jewish. Huh?
are you there? Something
Yeah. So
happened.
his
Okay.
his
It's
family
getting
was
dark
pretty
over here.
observant.
Yes, you know, and you know, they were a good family, Jewish family. Like I said, you know, the ethics didn't matter to me because I got some friends that are Jewish, that are the toughest guys you want to ever meet. I'm telling you, you know, and it's not the label that you're born with. It's the label that you earn. I believe who you are. What makes you doesn't matter what your ethnic group is. You are who you are, not what you were born into.
Yeah.
That's something given. It's not no choice, you know. I just might shut off for some reason. I don't know. It's getting awful dark here.
Really?
Oh, maybe it's me.
I hope it
I
doesn't
just want
shut
to.
off. Jeez, make sure it's plugged in, Pete.
Oh shit!
Thank you, sister. Shout out to you. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to call Danielle for a second just to make sure. I don't want it to shut off on
Why
Danielle.
you think it's low? All
Won't
right.
that?
What I'll do,
Well,
I'll put you down for a minute. So while Danielle checks it out, and then I'll bring you back. All right.
hey, Jack, get down.
You give me the thumbs up when you're ready to come back.
You got it. Let me go find them. All right.
All right. Yep.
See you right back, audience, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages.
I'm gonna lower you down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a break from that. Sorry. Yeah, we're gonna try to get him. Well, the long story, but yeah, no, he's here. He's here. Everything's all right. So, guys, get your questions in. Thank you, sister. I want to say thank you to you very much. I always share with Pete whatever happens on these live streams. What was Dracula like? Yeah, we could talk about that. What else? Let me see. We'll talk about that. Simon 11. Paulie Dibbs, Jensen, what's going on? Brian G, Vinny Boom Bots, Jay Sid. Pete from our ends of the picker. We'll keep that. Yeah. Interesting question. Enzo. What's up, SPK? Pete, you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Nah, he's not ready yet. Good. Yeah. That's it. That's a thumbs up, right? You good?
That's a thumbs up till she comes out. Then we'll cut it down for a few minutes.
Cool. All right, awesome. All right, cool, man. Cool. So we do have some more questions. You don't mind questions, right, Pete?
If I can answer them, no, not at all. As long as they understand that I can only answer certain things. I don't want nobody to feel bad like I'm.
Of course.
Okay.
We got this question a bunch of times. People love this stuff, and I was talking to you about some stuff about him on the phone the other day. You go, what was this? Is Jay said, what was Dracula like? They really like to know about this guy.
It's very hard to explain Dracula. You have to watch a real old Dracula movie. This guy never come out in the daylight. Hell of a cook now. Trust me when I tell you. But a very, very weird person. He had a set of unibrow eyebrows. When he put that together, his square wings were going to pop out of his back and he was going to fly away. I mean, he did some silly shit.
Yeah, unibrow eyebrow. That's what you said.
Here's the thing. Oh, my God.
Uh-oh. What happened?
It's one of the things that I always remember. We were at this place, right? And we called him up to come over. And it was like around the corner at a restaurant, right? And he came around the corner and he was passing in Brooklyn, the buildings. So we got alleyways, you know, shit like that, right? And this particular alleyway had a chain link fence across it. Must have been about 4 feet wide. And he come around, right? And this German Shepherd leaped at him because he was walking closer, but he liked to stay in the shadows. Well, There you go, Dracula. Walking close to the building, when he got to that fence, that German ship leaped at him. Well, he flew up from that sidewalk. He said he bounced off the car. That's how scared he got. German
Oh,
ship,
it scared him. Yeah.
So what does he do? He doesn't keep coming. He goes home. Goes back to the place and gets a knife. He comes back with a piece of hamburger or something, right? Puts it by the fence. When the dog went to get the fucking hamburger, he stabbed him.
That's sick.
What kind of mentality is that?
That is sick.
I wish I had a button that I could open the gate. He was 50-50 chance. He would have made a hamburger out of him. But like I said, he's disappeared. Well, look at this first robbery. Here you go. Does a robbery, right? You can't drive shit.
Yeah.
You can't drive for shit. And here he goes. They give a fucking standard shift car to get away when he don't know how to drive at all. So he's trying to get away, from what I understand. And they caught him on foot. They something happened with the car. I don't know.
Yeah, they flipped the car on Long Island. Yeah, that was the robbery.
Yeah. That was his first bank robbery, I think.
But he was reported at the time to be mentally ill. And if he wasn't mentally ill, they thought that he might have been faking it. That was also an accusation that he was faking that he was mentally ill. But during that trial, he was cutting himself. He was throwing stuff at the judge, threatening people. The robbery trial.
He
never made the other trial, as you know. But you know, and his wife, apparently, he was married. Pete, I don't know if you've ever heard that.
No, I never did. I can't imagine anybody.
Yeah, the court, the appeals, all the paperwork refers to a wife.
Wow.
Testifying in his defense, saying that, oh yeah, no, he's tried to off himself a couple of times. He's tried to hang himself. I don't know who this woman is. I can't imagine that he was married. That sounds pretty. I don't know.
You got to be a Mrs. Vampire. Anyhow, no wonder you got along so good with Freddie. You know, him and Freddie had a lot in common. Freddie's one of them fucking people that had a piece of paper in his pocket. It was real. Said that he's a registered nut. You know,
Broadway Freddie. Yeah.
I mean, he'd whip it out like nothing. The cops would read it and they'd let him go. I mean, this guy, when they showed him, put the indictment in his cell, he started eating it page by page. You know, that's how he was. He's a watch too. But he got along with Joe for some reason. I think that's why Roy Baker was driving. He got along. Let's read him.
Well, there you go.
Vampire-ness. But yeah, that sucker. I never seen him out in the daylight. The only time I seen him out in the daylight, if he was running from the room back in the clubhouse, down the sidewalk and in the front door to the Gemini. That was it. I never seen him out other than that.
Yeah, well, he surfaced on one of those barbecue videos.
Really? Wow, that was it.
I didn't tell you that. I thought you saw that.
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, he on the Dominic Montiglio channel. I know you don't like Dominic, but listen, that's the name of the channel, Pete. I don't know what to tell you.
This is the deal. You got to remember, a lot of the barbecues. I was on my own barbecue. I was in college at the time. Look, it got dark. Hold on, but she's gonna try to fix it.
All right, I'll lower you down.
It's gonna die. Hold on.
It's gonna die. I know it.
I'll lower you down. Hey, thumbs up when you're ready. All right. Let me pause this here. I'll get that loaded up so he could see. I could swear he saw it, but maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he did not see it. Let's see. I'll look at your guys' questions in a minute. Did they upload like the whole does anyone know if the Montiglio channel uploaded it as a regular upload rather than like the shorts that they fucking drive me nuts with these shorts? Let me see. Oh, there you go. All right, there we go. I got it, guys. Okay, cool. Sorry, guys. Pete, you good? You good?
Let me say something to you. All right. I got about another 20 minutes. Just that's good enough for tonight. Okay. All right.
Understand.
I'm good. I'm good.
I understand. You don't want to hang out. You don't want to hang out with us. I understand.
But yeah, I don't want to give you some bad rep. You know what I mean?
Kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, Jay said I saw that. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. That it would be him. First of all, there's no photo that's come out of him that I've ever seen. The other thing is that a Forest Park Woodhaven guy, which Mikey Muscles was not. So I don't know. I don't buy it. Mikey Muscles was around your area, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
He wasn't a Queens guy. He wasn't selling drugs in parks in Queens, right? As far as
Not that I know. He was a strict guy. I told you, stick up guy. You know,
yeah.
very
So
big.
yeah,
Very big.
I kind of went that way in my head, Jay Sid, but then when I started listening back and trying to figure it out, I don't think so. And the name that he gave, Tommy Bree or Debris or whatever he said, that's not Mikey Muscles' name either.
No, not that
but
I know of anyhow.
But it's interesting nonetheless. But you know what's funny, Pete? You once told me that you saw Mikey Muscles get shot in the head outside of White Castle.
Oh my God!
You know what's funny, Pete? I got an email. Not that I don't believe you, of course. I believe your word is gold to me. But I got an email of somebody from that area that told me that story about Mikey Muscles getting shot outside of White Castle before you ever told me the story.
Oh, I believe it. It was probably.
I get these
Let me tell
emails.
you something. My mother used to work there. That's why I was there. You know, White Castle. And I seen him. I didn't even know who the hell he was at the time. To tell you the truth. You know what I mean? And he had. I'm watching him argue with this guy, and this guy walked up and shot him right in the goddamn head, man. And
Yeah.
I seen him go down. You know, I ain't gonna bother. I ain't gonna do none of that shit. But the bullet had a thick skull because the bullet went around the skull and out the back. He got up in a couple minutes. It was like getting knocked out by a punch or something, I guess.
That's
Hey, listen,
crazy.
I know him working at a card game, right? He was the doorman, okay? He was like the protector, you know, the guy that took care of everything they needed. They came in, they kicked that door. He didn't have his gun on, it was on his shelf. He went to reach for it. They shot him a couple more times. This kid just didn't want to die. Well, nobody wants to die, but eventually everybody dies.
This is from Ryan Brown, $4.99. Thank you for reposting, Matt. I'm sorry. Just so you guys know in the chat with like super chats and all that stuff, whatever's going on with StreamYard and YouTube, the super chats in the StreamYard, they don't get highlighted. I noticed it yesterday in my stream with Frank. They don't get highlighted. They come up. You see what this says on here? Ryan Brown, $4.99. That's how it comes up. So it's hard for me to catch them. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. So I just want to give you guys a heads up with that. He says, I've heard the Mafia is very homophobic. Why would the Demeo crew work with Vito Arena? What was he like? And did you know his boyfriend, Joey Lee?
Never knew his boyfriend, Joey Lee. I never liked Vito Arena. I was away. When I got home, he was there. And I never liked him from that time on. I told Roy, I says, as a matter of fact, he saved my ass during the trial. He said people never come over, shake my hand, kiss me like the other guys. People want nothing to do with me. I had this bad feeling about this guy. And I told Roy, I said, Roy, I don't ever want to go do nothing with him because I'm telling you, one of them was to come back. And Roy tried to tell me how he made his bones and this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That ain't making your bones to me, you know what I mean? So I happened to ask a good friend of mine. I said, you know, I got a bad feeling. He said, yeah, me too. I said, let's do what we got to do. And he made a mistake. He went and asked Roy for permission. And Roy said, no. I could never understand that. If he would just did what I wanted to do, man, you know, you come home, you're very, very alert on certain things. You know, I was very alert when it came to him. You know, I just felt his aura wasn't good. You know what I mean? And how could your aura be good when you shoot a friend? Suppose you call somebody your friend in the back, and just to rob his money in his car. You've been out robbing to make money with this guy. But then again, it goes with his whole foundation. He was doing that when he was with us, preparing for that. Snaky bastard. But anyhow, I'm glad he liked cassettes. He got one cassette he didn't like that day, that's for sure.
Jesus.
You know?
Yeah. Did you know that guy Tommy Patera, Tommy Karate, or a guy named Billy Bright?
I knew Tommy Karate, and I know I talked to a very good friend of his while I'm down here. You know, we talk every once about him. That was a crazy son, big son boy. Let me tell you something.
How about Billy Bright? He was another guy.
Billy Bright, not really, but Tommy I knew because I met him at a pizza place, believe it or not, in Bay Ridge. But my friend knew him very well that I associate with down here.
Interesting.
Yeah, we talked some crazy stories about him. He was right up there with what the fuck is his name? Let me think for a second.
He was up there with who? Who? What do you mean up there?
Up there as far as Jimmy Burke's good friend there, Tommy DeSimone. He was.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Roy, but I guess not.
Brothers and Class was on. Okay.
Okay.
These two guys, they had no qualms, man. Look at Tommy DeSimone. That fucker, you know who he is, right? The way Joe
course.
Pesci played it.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
tell
yeah.
you something. That guy had no qualms about doing anything. That, you know, I wasn't afraid of a lot of things, but that guy scared the shit out of me in his own way. He would come to my house at 2, 3 in the morning. Just got this motorcycle, right? I don't know if any of my other friends knew this, but he used to like do that crank, you know what I mean? And I had some at the time. He said, I need some of that. You know, I was married, I had a kid.
Was that
I
speed
said,
or something?
yeah. Just really needed something to make it more fucking crazy. So he got it. He says, Pete, look at my new bike. I said, man, it's nice. He says, let's go riding. And I'm saying, oh my God. I don't want to tell. I don't want. He did want to insult this fuck guy, and he was great. You know what I mean? He took everything way out of. So my wife and kids inside, right? So I said, you know what? I better go. I don't want to start no problem. I told you I went riding with him, right? I went riding around. We come past this little bodega, right? And there's some guys sitting outside, you know, bullshit. And they look at us. We're stopped there at the light, right? And it says, two little midget Hells Angels, because we were both small, you know. We left, right? So I'm in front of Tommy, right? And when you're riding in front of somebody, you're talking to them, you can't hear them. You know, they can't hear you.
Right.
And I'm riding. I looked around something like, where the fuck did he go? Next thing I heard was boom, boom, boom. And he come speeding around. Caught up, he said, Pete, I think he's gone now. And that was
Oh,
it.
so he let off some shots.
Yeah, he's crazy like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very crazy. Well, you see him in the movie. You see what he did. I'm not that shoe shine no boy, you know.
Vinny Boom Bots, $20, Pete. He
Hey,
said,
Vinny, how you doing, buddy?
did you and the crew ever discuss okay, so yeah, let me phrase that another way. So Pete, you know, in 1979, I believe, Roy ended up killing a teenager, a vacuum salesman that he chased down.
You mean the guy that looked like a Cuban?
The guy, yeah, the Cuban 18-year-old vacuum salesman, who was not Cuban at all, but
No.
and he was with cousin Joe.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was with cousin Joe. So I'm not saying you heard about this at that time, but at some point you must have heard about that.
Oh, yeah.
What is your opinion on something like that?
I think that was the craziest fucking thing that they could have ever did. The poor kid was working his way through college, and Roy happened to see him. He stopped to write something down, from what I understand. And Roy thought he was writing down something about him, right? So he went and got his gun, whatever. Uncle Joe there jumped in the car. They chased this kid on 495 shooting. I mean, Uncle Joe shot right through the fucking floorboard or through the roof or something. So he was
Yeah.
loading up and wound up chasing into the middle of a town in broad daylight and shot him down right there. You know?
Yeah.
I remember hearing the story. That's the way it went, you know. Because they asked Roy, they said, where's your car? He said he had to get rid of it. I guess that bullet hole made him get rid of it. Well, yeah, that was. I just came home at that time. As a matter of fact, and I was given a couple of Smith and Wessons, you know, when it just came out, right? 17 shot. And my friend was telling me about the problem they had, you know, that was caused because of Chris or Harvey, you know what I mean? That until it got straightened out, nobody knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, that's a true story, though.
No, it is. It's definitely a well documented story. Yeah. Crazy.
I felt bad for the kid. I felt bad for his family, you know what I mean? You know, they call it collateral damage. I call it bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just paranoia. It's like
Yeah.
psychosis, paranoia. Pretty inexcusable.
Correct. You know?
Jay Sid, character holding their head in their hand, saying incredible. $5. Thank you, Jay Sid. I think that's a suit. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Thank you.
What's his name here has a question. Simon 11. Would Roy spend his money liberally, or was he saving a lot of money?
I'll tell you what. We were on a land one time, right? Roy came to the place where we met. He had like 2 orange crates. I said, what are we doing? We're afraid we're going to get. When you get that, when you're on a ship, you don't have to write vitamins from the fruits and stuff. Anyhow, I said, you think we're going to get that disease? He opened it up. It was full of money.
Right.
He took his money, very, very smart with his money. That very smart. That man turned a nickel into a quarter, turned a quarter into 50 cents, 50 cents into $1. You know what I mean? He had one of the biggest books out there that I know. You know, you gotta remember, there was 7 of us. We all had a book. I mean, it was the greatest thing in the world. You go to him, wherever he wanted, at half a point. You know what I
Half
mean?
a point. I was just going to ask you that. Half a point, huh? Not bad.
Yeah, he put it out at 3.5 points. You know, me making 3 points on everything.
Right,
And
because
that's just from us.
you
He had,
guys are putting it out.
right, and he had big fucking loans out there. I mean, that freezer was full of fucking tuna fish.
Hey, did you know Pedro Paz?
Yes,
So that
yes. I was away with Pedro Paz. You got to
you were
remember
away
something.
with him, really?
Right, that's
Right.
right.
So he's
He was
actually maybe a lot older than you, I believe. I mean, he was probably closer to Roy's age, or maybe even older than Roy.
right. You know who he was, right?
Well, I'm trying to figure that. I mean, I know a little bit about him. I know that he had been arrested for drugs. I mean, even decades before he had even got indicted with you guys. He had been around forever. Apparently, they called him like El Padrino, like he was a big fucking deal
He
or
was.
whatever.
He's the one. He's the one who told one of my associates that the only way to let this wash out with this Chris Demeo shit is they got to see him, Harvey, Chris, in the
Right.
front page of the newspaper. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
he walked. I seen him walk out of MCC, right? And as he walked outside, you could see through the window. He walks across the street, and I seen him. Cops roll up on him and lock him up. I don't know what happened after that. I never seen him after that. But I seen him. I talked to him a lot in MCC because he was right there with me in the same.
Well, what happened, Pete, is he was already in federal custody when they indicted him again with you guys.
Ah, okay,
He
that's
was
what it was.
already in deep shit. Like I said, as far as I know, he goes way back to like
Oh,
dealing with
Patrino, huh? Yeah,
drugs, like
yeah.
for like way back. I mean, I say way back, probably like the 60s or something.
Oh,
As far as I can tell, Pete. I could be wrong, but as far as I've gotten a little bit advanced, a little bit on the research on exactly who this guy is, but as far as him, they had claimed that, obviously they claimed that he was one of the major white stuff supplier for your buddy Roy and some of these other guys.
he
They had
might
also
have been. Once Chris was gone, I'm sure. Yeah, because Chris used to be the guy to go get it. And I'm not going to mention where he got it from, but it was someone that I loved very much and I knew very well. You know, the connection. But anyhow, he's a
yeah,
guy. He's a guy who made it so that Cuban Iron thing didn't go into any further into a war. That's what he
right.
put down. He said, once they see that, we'll call it a wash. You know what I mean? Once they see it in front page of the papers, everything be cool. Then we'll go back to doing business with them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah. Oddly enough, though, they also accused him of also having some sort of car lot that was holding on to some of the stolen cars. I don't know how that arrangement ever started, but that's
well,
something else that he got indicted for.
really?
Something to do with cars as well. So
Well,
yeah, interesting. I mean, I don't, I wonder like how these relationships start with
that's
guys like
that's
that.
that's very understandable. You know, like because everybody there at the Magnets has something to do with cars. You know, and there was one in particular person who's not longer with us. He dealt with a lot of dealerships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was well known for that. Very how can I say? That was one of his entrepreneur things. You know, we had a lot of people have cars on their lots and whatever. So that's very. You know, I can believe that. You know,
Right.
he's a very soft-spoken guy.
Yeah, I gotta get some stuff on him. I'm gonna figure out who this guy is, Pete. Right? What's up,
And
Drager?
then you,
499 Ryan Brown. He says Roy DeMeo, Tommy DeSimone, Charles Cornelia, Tommy Patera, locked in a room. Who comes out alive?
none of them.
None of them.
None of them.
That's pretty
None
funny.
of them. They'll shoot each other to death. If that was the situation, if they
Yeah.
were in there and they were all hostile, none of them. They're
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Every one of them is going to get shot one way or another. I don't care if you're on your last breath, they're going to get that.
Even if they don't
Especially
have
them,
gun, if someone gets shot.
especially them four guys. Oh yeah, completely
This is
out
a
of
good
space
question.
there.
Yeah. This is a good question. I don't know, Paulie. Have you ever heard of Jose Miguel Battle? He was a Cuban guy. I think he was based out of Jersey, I believe, Pete. He was like a kingpin, and apparently maybe at one time tied to the CIA with the Bay of Pigs or whatever. But do you know about any of that Cuban Jersey stuff going on?
I'm going to tell you something funny. I was watching a movie the other day by Kennedy, the Bay of Pigs, this whole documentary on it, and his name came up. He was working with the CIA,
Oh yeah,
and the
okay.
CIA was working with the mob. You know, it was a whole big thing. You know, yeah. But I actually physically know him. No, but like I
Do
said,
you
it's
think
funny you
that's
said that.
the same pipeline with guys like Pedro Paz? You think there's some
He was up there. He was yeah.
okay?
Listen, when you get to work with the CIA, you just ain't no flunky because if you're making around, I mean, they were
Uh,
bigger fish.
so this is proletarian, whatever. He says, he's basically asking if you guys, if there was blow was a big thing within you guys.
As far as making money from it, Roy, yes. As far as doing any drugs, no.
Okay.
Roy didn't see if the white didn't turn to green, he didn't want to know it. You know what I mean? And
You guys made a lot of money off it.
he didn't appreciate, any of us. What we did after we left dinner, whatever, that was on us. But he said, listen, man, none of this shit at the table. When you come here 3 times a week, it's only 3 times a week for dinner, and you go, I don't care what you do, just don't do that shit here. You know what I mean? He was serious. I told you a funny story about how one of the guys, we were all standing outside, leaning up against our cars, right? I don't mention no names in particular, but he come out there, smiling, laughing, walking around, kidding around. And as he was coming close to me and my friend, he wet his finger. And as he wet his finger, what the fuck? And then twice he wiped it on my friend's nose. He tasted it. He said, "You son of a bitch." He said, "What did I tell you?" I said, "Oh."
Wow.
But anyhow, yeah, he's pretty slick like that.
Here's a Canarsie question, Pete, from Enzo the Picker. You know the Carrazos? There was Nicky Carrazzo, Jojo Carrazzo.
Yeah.
And then they had another brother. I don't know. There's like 4 or 5 of them, whatever. He's wondering like how like maybe you didn't get associated with them or Anthony and Joey, being that I guess they're Canarsie or whatever.
Well, when you say affiliate as far as being in a different family, or you mean just knowing them and doing things
I
with them?
guess due to neighborhood proximity, even though, but there was a lot of people in Canarsie at that time.
Oh yeah, I mean, sure, we knew them, but as far as being part of their faction, that
Yeah.
wasn't happening. As far as doing street stuff with them, yeah, they were pretty stand-up guys.
Right. Just a different faction, right?
Right. Gotta remember, you had that was like I say New York City is the melting pot. You know what I mean? Canarsie, Brooklyn, it was a melting pot of all who's. You know what I mean? Wasn't one particular thing there. It was everybody. So no matter how you did it, you wind up meeting somebody, talking to somebody, and that's how they got big because you'd meet somebody from that faction and they tell you about something and you had an idea and it would grow.
Yeah. I mean,
So
my inclination as far as those guys go, like Anthony Center and Joseph Testa and some of those guys, my thing that comes to my mind is that being, and I could be wrong, Pete, you could correct me, but being with the Gambinos and Roy was a fluke, and they probably would have been with like, I don't know, a Lastarino or a Lucchese somewhere, if not.
You're pretty sharp there, buddy, because
If not,
what I understand, if you put that wheel back in action, you'll come up with the answer already. So nothing I can say about it because I know for a fact, but you might have won at Coney Island. You hit the nail on the head. That's all I can say.
no, I mean, I know they ended up with them, but I know it's a lot deeper than them. Just, I know they get transferred somewhere for a reason, not just because it's a spin of the dice. Hey, you're going to go with these guys now.
What do you think that reason is? It has to be a real good fucking reason.
Exactly. Yeah. So
And
that's
you know
kind
the
of
reason. You know the reason as well as everybody else should know it. I ain't saying nothing. As a matter of fact, there's nothing to say. It's that, and that's it.
right. Yeah. So
You got to trust and love somebody to put yourself in that position.
yeah.
You're a pretty wiry guy. You never fucking trusted nobody. So I don't have to say anything else. But like I said, who the fuck knows? I wasn't there. As far as I'm concerned, they were angels without wings, walking around in the streets, helping people.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. We'll get like 2 more, Peter. I know you got to run. Let's get a couple more. Was Roy viewed as a golden goose by his crew and associates like Nino because he made so much more money, or was his ruthlessness the reason why he had so many followers?
What was that movie with Bronx Tale? What's Sonny say when he asked, "Would you rather be loved or feared?"
Yeah.
Roy had both of them. He was loved. He had that Easter egg basket of his. He was a money machine. Feared? Oh yeah. So yeah, there's a saying that if Roy was still around, John would have never hit Paul. He would never did it. Everybody
Yeah,
believes
some
that.
people
but I
believe that. Yeah, people definitely believe
don't.
that.
So he was feared. You got to believe that.
Yeah, yeah,
I hope that answers your question, young fella. But
yeah.
yeah,
Too many of you guys.
no. John said, he says, if you kill one of those guys, you better kill them all because they're going to come.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
They
That's what your
said.
buddy. That's what your friend Capisi said over there.
He said, hey, Mr.
Well, I
Capiche.
don't know. The whole story, Pete, comes from maybe $20 from Vinny Boombots. Was
Hey,
Pete ever looking to be proposed, or did he prefer staying as an associate?
I looked at it this way. I'm eating at the same table. I'm getting the same paycheck. I don't need that. If you wanted a label, fine, but you had to do something for that label. And I wasn't about that. I wasn't about to hurt nobody. 3 reasons, Vinny. One, I got to know you're coming to hurt me. I don't think God put me here to let anybody hurt me. I'm going to take care of what I got to do. 2, you mess with my family, I'm going to do what needs to be done. And 3, if I call you my friend, you're better than my family. I chose you. And if I think somebody's going to hurt you with anything, I'm going to do what I got to do. Without even probably telling you. Take care of that problem. But Roy knew. Roy said I was different. He says, Pete, I won't ask you nothing to do these stupid things like a boss upstairs sends a message because his daughter got fucking smacked by some guy at a club or something, go take care of that, He knew not to ask me that. He says, I know you're different, but he also said, he says, I know if you know that we're in trouble, any one of us, you'll be the first one there, strapped up, ready to do it. So that's the only way I can answer that, man. It just wasn't my thing. And he knew, Roy knew it. He never sent me out on a mission like that. If it was a pedophile or something, or rapist or something like that, he could call my number 24/7. I don't believe in that shit, either one of them. So, listen, I never judged him, Vinny. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't send him somewhere to be judged sooner. Trust me when I tell you. If I thought they fit into that category, I had no problem sleeping at night, really. And I hope to God, by some of the things I did, it saved some families and kids and stuff like that because sick is sick, there's a cure for everything. And I believe God put some cures here, walking and talking. I mean, you remember he had a bad army up there. He had Michael the Archangel. That guy did a lot of that dangerous work. So, who's to know who's here for what reason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We forgot one more thing. We just forgot one more thing though before you go, Pete.
What's that?
Who's this guy right here?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Jackie, my baby buddy, man.
You wanted to talk about Jackie DeNorcia. I mean, obviously that's Vin Diesel, but you wanted to talk about the real Jackie. Well, I didn't know that you knew this guy.
Yeah, I love that guy. On the next, well, look, how could you not love him? If you watch that movie, Find Me Guilty, how could you not love that guy?
Yeah, that's real court testimony they used for that movie. Apparently.
I'm telling you something. Yeah, everybody that's there was real. 99.9% of what he said was real. Trust me, that was him from his heart. He might have been a little wacko because, after he got done doing all that time, he calls himself down here in Florida. He a good friend of his, Tommy, good friend of mine. And he asks Tommy, he says, what we got set up? What the fuck?
So yeah, so you knew you had, because I know you spent a shit ton of time in Florida. I mean, so you knew him.
Yeah.
He did have he was living in Florida around at one point. So you knew him down in Florida, in like South Florida, right?
And then and up in Mississippi, New York. We saved that. I want to tell you stories about him that it's unbelievable. But that's almost another whole interview I can tell you about him.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We'll talk about it when you come next time. This is obviously, this is a guy who starts out. I guess he starts out with the Philly, like the Bruno, Angelo Bruno and the Philly mob. Then he makes his way to the New Jersey Lucchese's.
Mikey Perna. Yeah.
Perna. Yeah. You knew the Pernas over there a little bit or what?
Yeah. Well, I really met I really met him. And like I said, MCC was like the melting pot of everybody. So I met him in there. I used to cut his hair and stuff. I was the only barber around time.
Yeah. And that was with the
But the Mikey was funny. But Jackie? Yeah, Jackie, forget about it, man.
All right, cool. All right. We're going to bring it up next time then. All right, last one. Yeah, Find Me Guilty, Chris. That's the name of the movie, Find Me Guilty. And then a lot of people always ask.
Love that movie, Chris.
A lot of people, who was more grimy, Gas Pipe or Sammy the Bull? You call him, what do you call him? Anthony Crackpipe Casso?
Yeah, tell you the truth. I'll tell you how I would answer that. I put one in front of the other and use a high-powered bullet. How's that answer? I hope that answers your question.
That's a good. Hey, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. Can
That's
I
how
show
I
you?
feel.
Can I show you something, Pete? Before you go though,
Why not?
can I show you
And
something?
it was anything personal. Doing a
Mm,
body. Okay, you got you
I'm gonna
dressed.
say
Okay, go
something. Are
ahead.
you ready for this?
Yeah, go
Are
ahead.
you ready? You're about to see something that will make you throw up. I'm
Oh
going to
God.
get real close to the screen. I want to get real close so you can see.
You might be tricking me. Maybe I better
I
be close
swear to
to you.
God, I'm not. I'm not going to put up a zombie head. All right, here, watch the screen.
Where's Latrell? On the dance floor. Where's Latrell? On the dance floor.
I mean, what do you think about that?
I think one of those girls had a hypodermic needle with some poison stuck right in the fucking neck.
Did Iceman him?
That's my thoughts. That ain't what I would. That would have been a perfect ending. It would have saved a lot of good people. Trust me. That guy was a degenerate. I'm going to tell you a story about him when I came home, how I got to meet him. Okay? One on one with my friends standing in the same Chinese restaurant. They told me not to do what I did, but I couldn't help it. You know, and I'll tell you the story, and they're going to say, no way. I used to have bad dreams after that story. Trust me.
Oh, about Sammy?
Sam. Oh, yeah. And, well, yeah.
Oh, you're
Sammy.
talking about gas pipe.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the frog dancing there, too.
The frog dancing. I got a lot of Sammy clips here, Pete. I got
Let
a
me
lot.
tell you something. Everybody called him the fire plug, you know what I mean? Because that's how he's built, shorts, strong as a bull. But that was his rage, though, you know, some of that shit. Sammy, why don't you come and talk to me? I'm gonna let Brett invite you. And you
Oh,
can tell
actually,
me.
wait, Pete. He's right here right now.
You're the one I've been looking for.
I love you, Sammy. I wish I would have never met you. I wish nobody would ever met you. I wish I was there when you were born.
Wait, what was that saying? Hold on, wait. What was
That's
that?
not a gun. I'm just happy to see it.
Oh, yeah, okay. You know
That's
what?
Can you imagine? Let me ask you this now. Can you imagine? Because you were around at this time, you know these characters. This guy got 19 bodies, whether he pulled the trigger or not, whatever. Can you imagine this? Like what I just showed you, all the stuff that he's doing?
Can I imagine?
It's a little weird, right?
You
It's a
don't
weird
even know
world
what
we
I
live in, right?
Huh?
It's a weird world we live in, right?
Yeah, he lived in a world. He lived in his own world. He knew he had a fucking get out of jail free card. That's what he knew. As far as I'm concerned, that's what I want to tell him at the very end. It wasn't nothing like that. That's what you knew. This was a fucking monopoly. You know what I mean? Yeah. You knew what you had and you knew when to use it, and you did. You didn't even hesitate and wait to see if that's the truth.
Yeah.
All you had to do was fucking sit there and find out that it was true what they were saying. You were going under the bus, and that's what you had to make a phone call after that. You fuck and tell them I want to come on that side. They would have took you for 1 second before the jury came out and let you get there. So I want to raise it no more. I want to save it for him because this is something personal. I feel. You know what I mean? I just can't figure it out. You know, 19 bodies. So what do you do? 90 days for every fucking body? Jesus Christ.
I guess so.
90 days. Break it down mathematically.
Well,
90
5
days.
years. 5 years.
5 years. 19. You do divide it up. What's it come out there? Huh?
You want me to do it? All right, I'm going to do it.
Go ahead.
Let
You
me
got
pull it
60
up.
months, 5 years, 60 months. Go ahead.
Let me pull it up. So what do we got? 19. Well, let's do it this way. 12 times 5 divided by 19. Yeah, it's like 3.5 months per murder or something like
Holy
that.
shit. Imagine that.
3
Yeah,
months.
you can wait
3 and a
forever for one murder. And
3 and a
then you
quarter.
get busted. Yeah, go ahead, say it. Go ahead, I'm sorry. I get too
No,
excited.
listen.
I get too excited, yeah.
No, it's
Then
like a
it gets
little over 3 months per murder or
right
something.
for murder. It's all right. So, hey, shit. What was it, like one of them fucking Gurge nights, that movie that come out, whatever, they shoot anybody out one night? So anyhow, that's the best part is he gets to keep his money from the book, right? Anything that book came out of us went to the victims. Why his didn't go? Hey, that's because you had to get out of jail free card, and that's all they wanted. You know, and
Yeah.
they would have done anything for all times he slapped them in their face by winning. They just wanted one time. They didn't give a fuck how they got it, and they got it.
Yeah.
And then he goes out to Arizona, and this fucking goes into the ecstasy business with his family, and he gets busted again. So what the
Pretty
fuck?
sad.
Yeah, he says, yeah, I got a gun still. How the fuck you got a gun, you son of a bitch? You convicted felon. Oh, wait, anybody wants to come and see me? Come on. All right, tough guy, what can I tell you? It's best when you don't see them come and see me like you. That's how you did it. The only people you whacked was people that you knew in business with. As far as I'm concerned, 90% of them. So they trusted you. No piggyback with you.
Yeah.
Hey, see, you
Yeah.
get me all excited before I gotta go do what I gotta do. Don't do that.
Well, listen, Pete. Obviously, always great to have you on. We appreciate it when you come on. We still waiting for you to come to New York. You know, we'll see.
Well, let me say something. See this? I got this in the mail. I don't know who sent it to me, but they said I deserved it. They said I'm a good fellow.
There you go, Goodfellas.
The anonymous mailer. I wish I knew. If anybody out there know who sent this to me, I got you. Just
Who the hell has
help
your
me
address? I would send you that.
send my address. It has to be somebody that knows somebody that
Full
knows somebody.
disclosure, I didn't send it. Just so you know, it wasn't me.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna check you out when I get up there.
It wasn't me, buddy. Full disclosure, not me. But it's cool. It looks good on you.
It's the truth. I am a good fella.
Looks good on you. But I don't know, Pete. I mean, it's based on Henry Hill's story. Maybe you're wearing a rat hat. I don't know. How does that work? How does
that work? It don't.
How does that work?
Henry. Little Henry. Scared the shit out of himself with that cocaine.
Oh yeah.
One word he heard sitting on the top of those stairs that Jimmy was saying, well, we just about got everybody else cleaned up. So right away he thought he was the last frog in the pond, right? And he said, fuck me, man. They loved him like a son. I don't know. Then again, what can I say? Well, I love Chris like a son. But, you know, what can I do?
Yeah, see, Roro said, get to New York City. She needs a nice steak at Keen's.
You got it. I like the cream spinner. You got it, Roro.
I was at Keen's recently. You been to Keen's before, Pete?
Huh?
You've been to Keen's before, right?
Been to
Back in the day?
That's all in the day. Before Roro was even born.
Yeah, I love Keen's. I was there recently.
Oh, yeah? Well,
Yeah.
Got it. He's got it better than you.
Hey, sometimes you gotta be nice to yourself.
Nice to yourself and nice to your wife because you're a good man.
There you go. Thank you, Pete. You rolled your eyes. What was that? You just rolled your eyes after you said that.
Did I? So much went in him.
You say
it's very windy in this room.
All right, man. Listen, we'll let you go, man. I'm gonna call you or I'm gonna text you in a few minutes. And yeah, thanks for coming on, man. You're gonna be around in like 10 minutes. I gotta call you.
Yeah, just give me long enough to go to the bathroom, come back. Yeah.
Oh,
I just want to say hello to Pete D. Personally, Pete D. I love you. Tell your father I said hello. He's a great guy. He's great. I'm glad you treated me like family when I was at your house in the middle of the wilderness.
Right, last question. Did they serve food at the Gemini? If they did, was it good?
Yeah, they served, it wasn't like big meals, but ballroom shit, and they had open sandwiches and stuff like it did cost nothing like for people. But at the bar, it wasn't really much of a cooking joint.
Yeah, right.
There's enough heat in the joint.
What are you fucking boiling hot dogs on the counter or something?
Yeah, hot dogs and some hamburger. I always put a little something out there.
I knew a bar that used to do that.
You never knew what you were eating. That's why she interviewed that grinding thing with the pork, which is
all right, enough. No, let's not go there. Yeah, my uncle Robin, he would go there every once in a while to watch the Monday night football games. He said like 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's not sports fans that come in there. I don't know what's sporting about it, but yeah.
Yeah. Now he feels weird after all these years.
I hope he didn't too many Frankfurt sausages.
When a certain book came out, and things got a little weird for some people. But oh yeah. All right, man. Listen, I'm gonna call you in a little bit. Love you, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Love all of you. Have a blessed night. And like I said, please, if you know any young people that are thinking of doing this stupid thing that I went through in my life, tell them to get online and I'll talk to them personally. Because if that's what it's all about to me, I don't care about the money. I don't need no offense to nobody sending me. I appreciate everything. But if I could hear that just one, I don't care. Stop going forward into this lifestyle because of what we said and what we did. I would feel like it was a miracle to me that somehow I got an extra brownie point when I get upstairs. You know what I mean? Well, they do. But look what you did, Robert. You did one good thing. Maybe they remember the good thing, forget about all the bad things.
There you go. We hope so.
I love you, Brett. Remember that.
Love you too, buddy.
All right, buddy.
I love
you. Okay, buddy. Bye, everybody.
Good night, Pete.
Good night. All yous. God bless you. Good night, Brett.
God bless. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, good. I gotta go to the bathroom. Bye.
Later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Pete the Pick Lafroscia. What's going on, everybody? I'm not gonna stay on too long, but Sorry about the technical difficulties in the beginning. Pete's not, the most tech savvy person. He doesn't always have like the most tech savvy people around him, which, not everybody's tech savvy. What are you going to do? But I'm glad that he was able to come on tonight. It's been a little while. And yeah, it's fun. It's always fun to have Pete on the show, of course. Thank you for everybody who hung out tonight. Really appreciate all of yous. I am fucking tired. Some of you guys are hanging out last night. Me and Frank had about a 3-hour show. Tonight I'm here with Pete, and I think tomorrow night me and Frank have another live stream on 52 Topics, which will be a members only live stream, but a live stream nonetheless. So if you guys want to check that out, we're just live streaming every day. I think that's what's going on every day. IH Farmer, look, your name is correct today. Thanks for hosting Pete. I really enjoyed the live streams. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Roro. Thank you, Uncle Rob. Thank you, Paulie Dibbs, Chris Archula. Hey, Archula, I was talking to Joe Monte the other day. What a guy. He was at a pool in Las Vegas. He was in Las Vegas at a pool just partying, living it up. And I was talking to him in his live stream. And then they started yelling at him at the pool because they didn't want him taking photos. People were getting uncomfortable. He said, I'm just taking photos, man. Whatever. He's one of those Kamala people. That's what he was saying. The great Joe Monte. Members only, like the jacket. Yeah, exactly. Just like the jacket. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm going to head out. I think that was a nice Joe's back. Yeah, Joe's back. Joe Monte is back in action, baby. He said he was getting shadow banned. The Kamala administration was coming after him. Not that there was ever a Kamala administration, but I don't know, whatever. And, the world was coming at him. So he's back. He's partying. He was in Vegas at the pool. He's going to be somewhere else. Yeah, he's one of those Kamala people. Thank you, Roro. Thank you so much for everything you do. And that's it. If you're a member over at 52 Topics with Frank Fiorellino, tomorrow night, we're going to have a members-only live stream. You guys can hang out with us over there. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to get going. I hope you enjoyed that conversation. Have a good night.